Hi crafters, thank you so much for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the card that I created for Craft Roulette episode number 283. This is my 173 card submission to Craft Roulette and video. Now, I have not been uploading my videos to Craft Roulette because a while back I stopped my membership because I wanted to manage my money, and I wanted to do the membership, the Scripture Stamp Club with Maymay. And so now, today, I just rejoined Craft Roulette again because I recently got a part-time job. So I have a little extra money that I can put towards some of my monthly subscriptions that I enjoy so much. And so I'm really excited to say that I am back now as a member with Craft Roulette. So now I can start uploading my videos not only to my YouTube channel, but to their platform for their show. So I'm excited about that. Now, when I saw the parameters last night when I watched the show, I told myself, like I tell myself all the time, that I am going to sit this one out because I don't like the parameters. And I was just telling Crafty Owl recently that I tend to do that every week. I'm not thrilled about the parameters, and so I say, well, do I want to do it or don't I want to do it? And every time that I think that I'm going to sit out, I end up doing it anyway. And this week was no exception, because after I thought it through, I really love the way my card turned out. So let's just bring in the card, and then we'll go through the parameters and how I came about making this card, and I'll show you the products that I used. So here is my card. Now, the first thing that came up was that the project had to be a card for a nerd or nerdy card. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do about that, because first of all, I had to go and determine what identifies as a nerd, because when I think of nerd, I think of people like Steve Urkel, if you remember him from Family Matters. And I don't think of him as a nerd because of his intelligence. I think of him as a nerd because of the way he dressed, his high water pants, and those suspenders. And that's how I pictured a nerd. And I thought, well, what am I going to make? But then I found a description about a nerd. And so that changed my whole idea. So basically, the definition in the dictionary for a nerd is a person who is extremely enthusiastic and knowledgeable about a particular subject, especially one of specialist or niche interest. So that changed my whole thought. And I was thinking about my niece. So not too long ago, she opened up her own practice for acupuncture. And I love acupuncture, so I was really excited about that. But before she did that, she really also has done some studies on flowers and stuff, and how you can mix certain oils or tinctures of flowers to create some home remedies. And so when I thought about that, I figured, well, she'll fall into that nerd category, right? Because that's a specialty for her, and she's very enthusiastic about it. So I thought, well, this will be great because her birthday is a day before mine in October. And so I thought I'll make her a birthday card. Okay, so that takes care of the project. Now, the colors had to be beach colors. Well, here is a picture of a color cube card that I found that had the kind of the olive greens there in the trees, and it had like the beiges and stuff like I have here in my card with the crumb cake. Now, the only thing that this color cube is missing is like this reddish color, which is sweet sorbet. But I thought to myself, well, if I was on the beach and I was sitting there relaxing and enjoying the beach, I am sure I would see somebody walking around with this color of bathing suit or any of the colors that you see in this card. So there we go. There is my logic behind my colors. So we've got that taken care of. And then we've got the element of hip. Well, on Craft Roulette, Mary started talking about rose hips, and they're part of the rose flower. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I went ahead and also looked that up because I thought, do all roses have this rose hip or whatever? So what I found was it says, no, not all roses produce rose hips. It depends on the variety and whether the flower has been pollinated. While all roses have the potential to produce hips, a single rose that has not been pollinated will wither and will not develop a hip. Many modern repeat blooming roses are bred to have fewer or less prominent hips, with shrub and wild roses typically producing larger, more abundant hips. So I decided to go out and find actual rose hips because I was thinking about my niece and how she studies the flowers to make remedies. And this picture that I found was perfect because it's a picture of rose hips, and then it is turned into a tea, which that is what my niece would do. She would make either tinctures or oils or something that you could take internally, and you could even make probably some rose hip tea and stuff. So I thought this was perfect for the, what was it? Element of hip. So there we go. Beautiful picture on top of it all, as far as I'm concerned. So then the last thing was the random of animal print. Well, this is where I was like, oh, I hate to take this card that is so beautiful and put an animal print on it. So I went ahead and pulled out this paper pack here it is called Animal Expedition. And I found this one right here, and on the back of it is an animal print. But what I liked about it was the colors of the crumb cake, and I thought that was a very neutral color that wouldn't affect my card at all. But in order to not make it be the focal point, I went ahead and put it on the back here. So I have some animal print on my card, but you're not even going to realize that's what it is just by looking at my card. And I also put a piece of it underneath my sentiment here for happy birthday. But I at least have it on my card, so that has covered all my parameters. Now, the other papers that I have used on this card was the designer paper that came in this 2022-2024 in color, which is the sweet sorbet that I used. I stamped my sentiment in sweet sorbet. The sentiments that on the outside and the inside of my card are coming from this little ladybug. And I die cut the image here of these rose hips and tea with my stylish shapes. And I also, because I wanted to do a little matting, I did some crumb cake behind there, and I die cut that with my deckled circles. And then I wanted to add still a little more something to this side, so I brought in my stitched greenery. And then I went ahead and embellished it with my, where did I put them? Did I hide them here somewhere? Oh, here they are. With my brushed brass butterflies that I love. And I'm using a sketch that I found from a friend had told me about this app that has sketches, and this is the one that I picked out to use for my card. And I love it because it could really focus on that focal piece there, because this is 3 inches. So there's that. And then on the inside, I just went ahead and added some more of that designer paper at the bottom and typed, "You're so sweet." Well, and how perfect is that, right? Because you can make your tea sweet, and she is sweet because she helps me out with my acupuncture needs that I need in order to hopefully help me keep my health to where it needs to be. Alrighty, well, I think I've covered everything. So I hope you enjoyed this card and this video. And if you did, you can show me your joy by giving it a thumbs up. And until my next video, which will be a video on organization and some changes that are coming to Stampin' Up! That I am overly excited about because it aligns perfectly with what I had already decided to do for organizing my craft room. So that should be my next video that I will be putting up here soon. Okay, well, have fun crafting, everyone. And until that next video, remember, choose joy. And may God bless you all. Bye-bye.